morning, esteemed viewers and followers. This is Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint. Of course, it is the return of your current affairs program here on Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint. And with me here today, two intellectuals. Honorable Alieu, and of course, Honorable Omar Sanyang. Alieu is a second-year political science student at the University of the Gambia. Likewise, Omar too is a third-year political science student at the University of the Gambia. So just to remind you, the topic before us today is the current, national security of the Gambia. So, these two intellectuals will delve into important, topics or important discussion on the national, security of this country. So it is a pleasure having you here, Alieu and Omar. So welcome to Fine TV.
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade Ibrahim, and you are viewing us from Fine TV, and thank you very much for following, and welcome my brother, Comrade Alieu.
All right, thank you so much, Omar, for that wonderful introduction, and thanks to the management of Fine TV and everybody that is watching us live on Fine TV, the Gambia. It is a pleasure to be here to have a discussion with you, much especially peace and security. It is something that is very, very important. And then for our viewers, be rest assured, this program is going to be very, very educative as we are going into the substantial matter of the topic, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Omar, of course, Omar Sana. So, as the topic before us today is, the current national security of this country. So, we would start with Omar Sana first. So, Omar, how would you describe the current national security of this country?
All right, thank you very much, Ibrahim. This is a wonderful question. It is very sad that we are living in a country where the lives and properties of people are not secured. It is very sad that this is the type of country that we find ourselves in. No? The primary responsibility of police is to make sure that the properties of individuals and their lives are protected. So right now I can tell you this, that we are having a very weak security, and that is why the lives and properties of people living within the country is not secured, it's not safe. We have been seeing so many killings, murdering, stealing of properties in our land. We all understand that the police should have done something to remedy the situation. But what are they doing? Are they doing enough, even though they are doing something? But is it enough for us to have a very, peaceful society? Sometimes we said peace is not only the absence of gun, like people firing guns to each other. That is not peace alone. We have positive and negative peace. Having the gun killing could be positive peace, but, properties of people being stolen, people being killing, and their happiness even we can term it as negative peace. So we understand that these are the things that are happening in our country. These are the things that are happening in the continent. Sorry, but we have to talk about it because it is high time that we sensitize people that these are the things that are happening in our land. The police and other stakeholders should stand as firm as they can to make sure that people are having a just society. Not only a just society, but a peaceful society. A society that everybody can live in harmony. A society that everybody can live in peace. A society that nobody will fear that if I go out this particular time of the day, I will be killed or I will be raped or certain things. So I think the police can double up into that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Interesting. Viewers, like I told you earlier on, it would not be just, a discussion, but it will be a discussion of ideas. And of course, they will not only stop at giving ideas, but they'll give you remedies on how to solve those problems. Now, Honorable Alieu, for your part, how would you describe the current national security of this country?
All right, thank you so much, Bye. That's a great question. Looking at the security of this country, it is definitely alarming because recently from 2021 to date we have been receiving a lot of rape cases, murder cases, armed robbery, theft, and so on and so forth. And this is something that continue increasing and increasing according to global peace standard. When you look at the crime rate in the country, the Gambia, it is almost something like 65%, meaning that is very high. And other related issues, corruption and other things that can actually propel by insecurity in the country, it is very, very high. In looking at the corruption, it is almost 85% according to the Global Peace Index in the Gambia here. So armed robbery, you can bear with me witness, and I believe that even the viewers also can also bear me that a day or week hardly pass in this country without hearing robbery, rape, or murder cases. So obviously, I think it is high time for the government of the Gambia to look into these issues and then trying to make sure that they find ways in which to mitigate this crime rate, because it is very, very worrying. Because somebody even told me that Alieu, it's so scary for me to go out at night time now, because when I heard that 2 policemen were shot to death, obviously, who are we? Are we safe? If the security personnel, have been killed, been attacked, by armed robbers, and then we believe that those people have the weapon to protect themselves, much more an ordinary citizen who normally walks on your way to go to work in the morning as early as 7 o'clock. When you look at the students, when they go for studies, they will go home around 5 o'clock to go and prepare for school. And you will realize that on their way going home, they will be attacked by people. So are the students safe? No. Are the people safe in the country? No. It is something that the government need to look into it in order for them to provide solutions as soon as possible.
Interesting, and thank you very much for that, Honorable Alieu. Now, moving back to Omar. Omar, said that the police, here, but like these crime rates are increasing day in, day out. So, Omar, the police will tell you that they have what they call the police, patrol team, that would be out every night to make sure that, places, that are prone to crimes, patrol to ensure that, crime reduce in this country. So how would you justify that? Is that sufficient enough to ensure that crimes are reduced in this country?
Yeah, thank you very much. If you are listening keenly, I said that in as much as the police might tell you or tell us that they are doing their work, it's not sufficient for us to have a security that is fit for purpose. You understand that, yes, we are all Gambians, we all live here, but we do not only have Gambians in the land. We have people that are from other parts of the world. We have people from Senegal, we have people from Nigeria, we have people from Ghana, we have people all over that are living and they are residents of this country. So sometimes something contributes immensely to the security of a particular country. You understand that having papers in a country, I am a Gambian, I have my national identity card, or I have something that identifies that I'm a Gambian. If I commit a crime, you will know this particular individual is a Gambian. But you might have other individuals who are not even Gambians, but they have Gambian national ID cards. They have Gambian papers. If they commit crime sometimes, you will say, yes, they are Gambians, but they are not Gambians when it comes to, looking at where they originated from. So it is telling you, even giving out papers to other individuals, it has to do with security. Why am I giving this particular thing to this particular individual? When it comes to the law of neutralization, you understand that you have to be crime-free for a country to give you a particular document for you to be able to be a citizen of that particular country. Absolutely. But you will understand that, is that the case in the Gambia? Are we truly going through those things? So you understand that crime rate will continue. So the police are not doing enough. You go to police stations, you find people there every day that this is an individual who committed crime. For instance, robbery or theft, killings, rapings, every day. But you understand that, yes, these are the things that we found ourselves in. So what are the police doing? Sending in 5 military or 5 police officers to go for a patrol is not enough. Sending in 15 is still not enough. And how are they even doing their patrol? The way of operating, how is it? How are they doing their patrol? Is it that they go in with their vehicle just trying to look for individuals who are smoking ganja, or they are going deep into details to know what are who are those individuals that are committing crime? You understand that sometimes you'll even call police that there is a crime happening here, but for them to be there earlier becomes a problem.
So what the police will tell you, like at times they are not equipped the materials, or certain equipment that they might use, to make sure they are safe for themselves first, because you cannot go to a particular crime scene, trying to protect people while, you are not protected. So like the police will tell you at most of the time is that we don't have, sufficient equipment to ensure that we are able to, tackle certain problems as they happen. So that also is a problem.
Yeah, the police is part of the executive body of government. They execute laws. Sometimes we understand that we are living in a country that corruption is now becoming a tradition in our land. If you are corrupt, they celebrate you. This is the country that we are living in. We celebrate thieves. We celebrate them. But our government officials, from the president down to the last dumper at the National Assembly, everybody that is occupying the public office right now as I'm speaking are corrupt. I will not tell you one is not corrupt. What? Everybody. You understand? Yeah, all right. You understand that the government is supposed to do certain things. The police cannot do their work. Yes, in as much as we want to blame the police for not, giving us the security that we need, we also have to give the same blame to the government that they are not providing the police the same equipment or equipment that the police might need to do some of their duties. So you understand that the government is having a role to play in the national security of the country. So one of the reasons why we sacrifice our rights as citizens to vote for individuals in our public offices is security. Number one, the security. That is why our life and our properties need to be secure. That is one of the reasons why we sacrifice some of our rights to vote for the president or vote for other National Assembly members. If I said, all right, I will not going to vote. If everybody says that we are not going to vote, everybody is going to take the law into our own hands. We are all going to protect our lives. We are all going to protect our properties. It is going to be an anarchy system of government. That is why we vote for individuals. So if presidents and National Assembly members are not making laws that can protect the lives and livelihoods of the people, we are nowhere to be seen. I am from a land whereby people will be coming in and then killing my people. I am from Funi. People will be coming in, driving in. People outside the country will pass our borders, come to our land, kill our people, and go back. Sometimes they will even kill them. We will not see that. It's sad. That is the type of the country that we are living in. So it is telling you that sometimes the government neglects the people. They neglect our security sector. They neglect the educational sector.
But Omar, the government will tell you, that's what they call, the security sector reform. The government is committed to ensure that the entire security is being reformed. So since 2017, they've been, chanting such, slogans, that they would, they are committed towards, changing our security aspect. So, this is also another problem, and then we witnessing certain crimes increasing day in, day out. People have just been killed for just delivering. Let me say it like that, for deliberating. So now, Omar, without wasting more time, let me allow Honorable Jobe also to come in on that is Honorable. So now, hence Omar was talking about the police, not responding to crime scene as soon as possible, or as the crimes unfold at that particular scene. So now, for you, what is your take? Is the police really doing what is expected to ensure that crimes are mitigated in this country?
Well, on that case, I am going to object, Omar. Looking at the police, I believe they are doing their best to ensure that people's life and properties are safe in this country. But there are materials, there are gadgets, there are things that the police need. Mobility is among them, and then of course they need to have so many things. Because I can remember last time I was having discussion with King Kwali, and I have put it to him that, a country that is serious to actually mitigate crime rate in the country, you must have devices along the roads, like to have a camera around Westfield, around Birkama, around Tanje, so that in an event that somebody committed a crime, the culprit can be apprehended or can be detected quickly. But how do you expect somebody to do something around Senegambia where there's no camera? The only cameras that you guys want to rely on is the camera that has been installed by people for their own private thing. So it is high time for government to, put more money into security. Government need to put more money into the security. In as much as you want to blame the police are under the Ministry of Interior. And Ministry of Interior, they are the achillum when it comes to, protecting the lives and livelihood of the people. Omar made mention of, people of Senegal. This is about territorial integrity. Gambia, our territory is not being protected. We have porous borders in this country. You can kill somebody and then, flee within seconds. So it happens here. Until at some point somebody, the one who suited to kill the two policemen, allegedly, caught at Casamas. He already flew within seconds. While the police, this incident happened within 5 minutes, and everybody was aware. because of we have the porous border, this individual happens to actually go and leave the country. So it is so sad that people in Fonyi are living in fears. People in Fonyi are not being protected. The National Assembly of Fonyi, they have been advocating for such. They have been calling for the government through National Assembly, and they also call them for meeting. You understand? You will realize, you will see frustration under the eyes of their people. National Assembly member Bakari Kamara, Bakar Baji, and then other, Almame. Anytime you actually check on them, they will be advocating for peace. They will be advocating for the people in Fonyi to live in a very, very, conducive environment for students to be able to go to school. At some point, they even close the school in Fonyi, which is so sad, which is deeply sad, because come on, when you have a country which is not peaceful, it traumatizes the younger ones than that of the elderly people. Not going to school alone can actually traumatize you. You can say, wow.
Absolutely. What can even force you into something?
Obviously, yes. So at some point, you will lose appetite to go to school, and it can even nurture sense of, sense of, how to call it, to be a rebel in the country. Because even that you are hearing gun every day, people are fighting always. You always heard that, your family members been killed, your dad been killed. Me today, if you kill my dad deliberately, I will do what it takes to ensure that the justice is served to the core. Because people of Fonyi do not have justice. If my people have been killed deliberately, I'm not going to leave it to rest like that. It's even better I accumulate or to actually look for money to actually sue the government to anywhere I can actually have justice, because you cannot walk free. You see people walking, going to their daily life, they'll be killed just like that. So the police also need to intensify. In as much as I wanted to object, Omar, the police also have a role to ensure that people's life and security are safe and well protected. But if police have been compromised, because police have been compromised all along, when you actually arrested somebody, detain the individual, they will grant the individual with a bail. And that bail, the matter will not be filed to the court many a times. You will see somebody being caught for something. At the end of the day, when the person is taken to the police, the family members will come. And then at some point, they will masla, and then, they will look at one of the police head there and try to corner the person. And if they have the money, they can actually give it to the people, because we all know what is going in the country. When you look at the bribery and corruption in this country is skyrocketing, and it is something that's an alarm. And of course, before you go there, tourists, before they come to the country, they have to search whether the country is peaceful or not. Just to tell you this, according to the statistics, the most peaceful or the safest country in Africa are Ghana, Mauritania, and Botswana. These are the only three safest countries in Africa, despite Gambia.
So Gambia, despite being called smiling coast of
Gambia,
Africa, is being kicked out now, and then only three main countries
are
decided to be the most safe countries for
obviously,
people to visit it.
Obviously.
So, like, how would this affect, the future of this country, considering that the Gambia is not being named after the three main peaceful countries in this region?
Very good. So when you see you have the top three safest country, which we believe that we deserve to be there, But I think we have a one quotation that we fool ourselves: the smiling coast of Africa. Smiling coast of Africa. In what? What are we providing to the world market? What Gambia? What are we exporting? Because we realize that in order for us to have food security in this country, we need to make sure that we invest a lot in agriculture. Then tourists usually come to this country. One of the countries in West Africa where tourists visit, is Gambia. They will come in thousands, but now few tourists will come. What do they have here to watch, other than to actually go to the beach? There are other countries that have beach now. So tourists, all the tourist attractive areas in this country are being vandalized. Even the ministry is pointing below, because the Ministry of Tourism, they are not doing much. Gambia Tourism Board, when you go there, they have a very, very beautiful structure, and they are doing nothing. The boys that usually go to the beach now, the boys, when you have these tourists around, they always go and tap some of them, and it actually boosts their life. But now, the Gambia tourism industry, trying to, hide these tourists from the boys. And then you realize that tourists, most of them will not be at the beach side to go and relax. But of course, they will be given by a tour guide. The Gambia Tourism Board will be there taking care of their needs. Even those who are pressing juice at the beach now, they don't have customers. Because these people, when they come, they will give them hotel. And when they give them the hotel, that's where they're going to be circled. That's where they're going to be covered. And then these boys will not have access to look for opportunity. So one thing for sure is Gambia is among the safe countries in Africa. That is, nobody can question that. Gambia, Senegal, and other countries. But the safest country in West Africa now or in Africa is Mauritania and Ghana, which is I'm very, very surprised, because you cannot say that they don't fear to us. They are fair. Every day you must have a case in this country. You must have a crime. So in an event that you are hearing crime every day or week, obviously, yes, if your name has not been captured there, I don't think you can question that.
Honorable, I did hear you say, I mean, at times some of the police head, I mean, are bribed. And then do you think this also, I mean, is also a threat to the security of this country?
Yes, I made mention of when somebody committed a crime, a police officer may accept bribe. You understand? May accept bribe. At some point, the case will go. It will be rushed under the carpet. I witnessed one thing. When you go to the traffic, you will realize that when you get to the just yesterday, I was going with some materials home, and this police officer, break us and asked the driver who owns this material behind the truck. I told him that it is me, you understand, with a deeper voice, because, I am not afraid of them anymore. Even themselves, they know that. So I told him it is me, you understand. I thought that he's just going to object some of the things, or he's just going to search. If he said he want to search, I would allow him to search. Because of that materials behind the truck, cost almost thousands of dollars. So he's with the notion that this guy may have money. Right? And, quickly told me that, these are things me and Noko always, and everybody's aware of it. You understand? So, police officers should search my materials, whether there is drug or whether there is anything. That is because it's so sad. Yeah. That's why one of my friends, made mention of this. You have just $300. You can smuggle the drug. You understand? Many a times we heard that drugs have been intercepted at the airport. Every month, or at times, one case in Golden Mile we call interceptor. How many of them will pass? Okay? So many things will be actually passed, especially this checkpoint. I think they are punching below their weight by, because police officer, your role is to search. Get a police officer because even IGP Lord Ambassador, Minister Lord, I'll break the minister.
No immunity.
I went to the National Assembly. Nim police because they are my good friend. King Kwale, the PRO, Binda, and others, they are good friends of mine. So, police over Kajaka, because they are citizens, they are sacrificing for this country.
Absolutely.
And they should be commended for that. So I was chatting with them, MP near the MP do from the near the become all contact, which is so sad. You MP yourself, you cannot take yourself to the National Assembly. People have to vote you into the power.
Absolutely.
So when you become more contact, in fact, you understand? So we only want to inspect. You understand? So
anything in there.
Obviously, that is the notion the Gambian people have. Even if I minister today, somebody wanted to search you, you tell the person that who are you? I'm going to search you. If you want to let the IGP send me out of the police, I will search anything that has to do with, look at King Koli, regardless of whatever you have. So that is it. We have to be ready to fight for our country. We have to be ready to stand for our country. We have to be ready to do what is right, regardless of the position. Without tinted glass. With tinted glass. Without number plate. Who are they not to be searched? Who are they not to have number plate? Even National Assembly members, sometimes a number plate on your cover.
Yeah.
Who are there to cover the number plate? They are just ordinary citizens like some of us, in which they are going to be out of the office shortly. Because when you serve 2 or 3 times, you're going to be kicked out of the parliament. Because as a Democrat, we always support term limit. So tomorrow we are going to be there in that parliament. So you will realize that to do things right, you understand, we will definitely take this country forward. And we need to make sure that we work together with the police to provide them with information, and let the police also, protect the people that will report the matter to them. Because in an event that Omar, Omar is patriotic, Omar is patriotic, he's nationalist. Nasta ka report cover the local Alieu, and in Drogol Kanaja. Omar informant. And his life can be in danger. Yeah, they can even try to attack him. So wala na purka ko police or doli information or dila ko kolya back, because the information there nobody knows whether information can leak or not. So what they need to do is they need to ensure that in order for us to have a peaceful country, we need to ensure that we make a limit to bribery and corruption, because in as much as bribery and corruption is getting higher and higher, corporate will go free. You understand? People will break the law. We will live in a country of lawlessness and no massive. We all see other countries. That's why, this topic is very important because peace is priceless. You will never know peace until when you travel to other countries. Be model your casino. They are traumatized entirely. Look at Rwanda in 1994. Rwanda almost 1,800,000 people to 1 million people were perished. Rwanda. Almost 200,000 women were raped. So, all because of, in a country where there is lawlessness. There is law in this country. This country is governed by the law. And I'm sure that the government of the Gambia is aware that the state of affairs in this country. Therefore, they need to make sure that they take a bold step in making sure that they get into these matters.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Interesting. Bribery and corruption, of course, detriment to national development. Esteemed viewers, just to remind you once again, it is your current affairs. So here on Fine TV Gambia, the only viewpoint, and with me here is Honorable Alieu Jobe, and of course, Honorable Omar Sanyang. Well, they are not, new faces to most of you, I know. These are public figures as of now. So, Omar, moving down now. Omar, let's shift to the rampant murder cases in this country. Omar, how do you see this in this country? People are just, being murdered for just deliberate. Let me say deliberate. We've witnessed so many instances where people are just robbed and at the same time they will be, killed. So, what are the causes of this murder case in this country, Omar?
Thank you very much, Comrade Ibrahima. One of the causes of these murder cases is on seriousness of our government. When your governments are not serious enough to put mechanisms in place to make sure certain things do not happen in our land, all what we should expect is chaos, violence, crime. And in those crimes, you will have murder, you will have rape, you will have whatsoever that is going to hinder the security of that particular country. So we need a serious government that is going to take serious measures.
Why do you
just recently, you understand that the president pardoned rapists, murderers in our land. I was so sad that day, if my sister was raped and somebody who raped my sister was pardoned, if that particular individual has to pass through me that particular days, I will take the laws into my own hand. Yes, I don't like, at that particular juncture, I don't care whatsoever is going to happen to me the next day, but I will take the law into my own hand. That is telling you how unserious the government is. Come on. You cannot rape somebody. And the law has charged that particular individual for that offense, that he should be sentenced to this particular amount in prison, and the president will just come out of nowhere, out of no background. You cannot tell me that there is family agreement. There is no law. There is no law between individual. Sometimes I cannot say Ibrahima did that to me. The law has already convicted you, and I still have to go back to Ibrahim's family to beg their pardon. The law does not know that.
But the government spokesperson, told Farm Network that it is vested, to the president on a section 82 of this of the laws of this country to pardon prisoners. So now, and then he said this thing was not just done deliberately, or was not just done like randomly, but they went in for family, discussions. Whether they have, forgive those individuals, that have already, committed certain crimes. So he said after this, they realized that these people are fit for, pardon, because most of them are ill, and then mild too is not a conducive environment for those individuals. So that is why they, pardon them. So this is.
I think the government is just beating around the bush. They don't want to come straight and tell people what is happening on the ground. That is the bottom line. They are just beating around the bush. Ibrahim, it's very sad. No family member. I saw a post somewhere on Facebook that the family members of the victims do not agree. Do not agree. Like the government do not even reach out to them. So what are they trying to insinuate here? Yes, we are going to do this simply because I have the power. The section 82 of the Constitution gave the president the power to pardon prisoners. Very right. But there are criteria. Why should we pardon those individuals? For instance, let's say political prisoners. people who are prison because of politics and certain things. If the regime has changed, you can change or you can pardon those individuals, like what happened to 2016 presidential elections, 2017. You understand that the likes of Usain Dabo were pardoned by the current government.
Absolutely.
So you understand that those are pardoning that are fit for purpose. But rapists and murderers, you raped my sister, you take her dignity and pride away from her. The society is going to judge her for what she is not. And you want to pardon her, and she will pass my sister, remind her. That trauma even is enough to kill somebody. I raped your sister and I will passing through your sister, I will be calling her name. I'm reminding her of the darkest moment of her life. So when that happens, you'll understand that you are now trying to tell people, send a very strong signal that raping is not bad in our country. Everybody can go and rape. Everybody can go and kill. You cannot mitigate violence. You cannot mitigate peace in that particular manner. Because people are going to do what they, everybody is having the desire to do certain things. I am having the desire to be rich. And I will do whatsoever it takes to be rich. If there is no law that is going to guide me. I can kill you. I can go and rob individuals, take their properties, and then I will be rich. Because there is no law that will guide me. So it is telling us that the laws that we are having in place are not concrete enough, or the government are playing with our laws. One thing is happening. It's either they are not concrete enough, or governments are playing with our laws. So if governments are not putting these things into consideration, the country is going to sink. The country has sinked already. It will continue to sink and drown until we are all dead in this particular life.
So, as a youth leader, Omar, so what do you think is the problem? Is the government just trying to, to manipulate, or the laws in this country are not strong enough?
That is why I said.
What is your stand?
My stand is the government is trying to manipulate the laws. Very clearly. They are trying to manipulate the laws. They want to, sometimes you even think whether they are doing this for politics or not. Like I said earlier on my deliberation, one of the reasons why we vote for individuals is for us to have peace. That is why we surrender some of our rights. We cannot be all living in an anarchist society. We cannot be living haphazardly in our lands. But we said, okay, we are now going to vote for individuals for them to do certain things on our behalf. That is protecting our lives and properties. Raping someone is illegal. You cannot have an affair with individual without their consent. It's illegal. Most especially children. Underage, it's illegal. Killing people unnecessary. There is nothing like, no matter how hard the situation is, there is no law in the Gambian constitution that gives you the right to kill. You don't have the right to kill an individual. No law in the Gambian constitution says that. Even if you are killed, even if the person is trying to kill you, in an event of self-defense, you kill that particular individual, they are still going to convict you for murder. So why is the president pardoning individuals? It's telling you, you are making the security more weak. Weaken their point, and there will be nothing that can be done with it if the president do not stop the nonsense that they are doing.
Interesting. All right, now, what is your take on that, man? Like the rampant murder, case in this country. What is your take?
All right, thank you so much, Ibrahim. That question is very important and timely. Omar Bono candidate. Obviously, yes. Abololam. So when we looked at the issue of the, murder cases in this country, it is so sad and scary. You made mention of something. You said, according to the spokesperson, the government spokesperson, that was consensuous. The victim families, they agreed for the culprits to be released, as if they have any other chance not to actually agree. That is the question. Who knows what have given to those people for them to agree? Even if you compensate them. But sadly enough, one family member came out and said they were never communicated with this issue. So that is why, before getting into your question, it is very important we put this thing across. The office of the spokesperson is very, very important in this country.
Absolutely.
The spokesperson of the government, Honorable Sankare, have been punching below his weight, have been misinforming this country, for over the time. And this can actually propel something. If you can remember vividly, in the month of September, there was a case that was reported in the country here that has to do with the issue of somebody who they allege to shoot those two policemen. He said that individual has been seen in a protest where become area council chairperson. So what message is it going to send to the people of the other party, that is the yellow party, that is UDP?
No political motivation.
Obviously, yes. So, and then later on, they noticed that it wasn't him. You understand? And he doesn't come to apologize people publicly for misleading the entire nation. And this can actually propel something. You understand? Because trying to sell informations are very important. You can incite violence in the country through this mic. It's very, very powerful. You understand? So Sankare and his office, they should take note of anything that they're gonna say. Information of break. Why are you so concerned about breaking information? It is not your area to actually talk to us about that issue. We have the police that are investigating, and in fact, the saddest part about this thing is when the investigation is at the primary level, criminal level, you will see some government officials, most especially Sankare, will come out and say A, B, and Z. Come here, no more arrest. A moment arrest just yesterday. Be the Kanana, Ikavo public no, he was being spotted during UDP Kabila Molba protest Banjo. You don't have imperative evidences to back yourself. Sankare they should leave that office that very day. He have been misleading this country. He have been misleading us. And we're going to say boldly enough. Because the family members were consulted. As if we need the consent of those family members. This goes beyond the ordinary individual.
This is against the state now.
Yes, obviously. So it is very important for Sankara to understand that we have different spokespersons in this country. He is not the only spokesperson. If government have anything to share with the public, no problem. Ami Bodas is their director of press. Or anything that has to do with the government and other, and the public, she come out and to actually make an announcement. But Sankara, we have the police spokesperson. Anything that has to do with security in this country, we have police officers. They have to come and to speak about it.
And in fact, I think everything that has to do with crimes, the police has to be able.
Obviously, yes.
Obviously, yes. Do the investigation. After investigation, people will be able to say something about it.
That's why it's unlawful. Go back court. You talk about it.
Absolutely.
Obviously. So, I do understand about this. Sankare, I don't know whether he have learned about information. We do not know. What we know is he was a taxi driver in America. Alright. So imagine it's very important. The rape cases in this country is getting higher and higher. And then I think, pardoning this, it is true that the government, the president, have the power, what we call prerogative of mercy. Let me turn this into Mandinka. So Molmianoko yolo sorong for serious crimes, capital offense. Molmianoko kujau balake bankoka. Molmianoko corruption yola bar in bankoka. It's not about the rapists and then murderers. It's even people that were convicted for corruption. We the environmentalists, kabin no waje because mano nying convict mina. It has the relationship with environment.
Absolutely.
You understand? About fisheries department. Genusul made banko kanyana kamola banko nyil kasara. Genusul made jana kamola banko resources kasara and other country members. In as much as you want bilateral relationship, I am doing economics and political science. We all know that we all know that the importance of what we call, trading with international body. We know that when you come to bilateral relationship, we know about, foreign policies. We know what it means to actually, as a nation for you to stand out. When you come to the foreign policy, you will understand that one thing for sure, national interest will supersede everything.
Absolutely, that's key.
But now, the foreign interest is at the detriment of the people of the Gambia. Anything like the Gambia right now, the reason why we cannot even develop is because we are not exporting more. If you are not exporting more, your balance of trade will be negative. And the Gambia is among the countries, the disparity between the balance of positive balance of trade and negative balance of trade is too high. Then what are we exporting to the global space? Even basic commodities we all import it. When are we going to develop? Gambian economy is at a stake, whereas Gambia ngaraba nemba balula mina 12 months na banda ko ta dani ro ko den anin ka ngaraba ko den kabolu. Sustainability is not in our economy. Gambia still now we need to make sure that we change the dynamic, we change the status quo when it comes to our economy. We see to it that Gambia in next 5 years Gambia sustain themselves. Not only food sufficiency. We want food security. We want food basket, whereas we will export them to the global market. We can export it to Senegal. Ning sama banda gali no mo fengol moda. Senegal la ka pumtiro samanya. Senegal la ka jabol samanya.
Absolutely.
You know,
vegetable, most of the vegetables.
Obviously, yes. So it is high time for the government. Gambia is too small. But you can drive from here, far to here. 6 morning. Before 6 Gambia tolenana. So this country is very small to develop this country. So it is high time for government to look into the things and then to come to conclusion about your question. That is about the issue of the murder cases in this country is alarming. And I believe, and I know the government is aware. They know the ways and means to actually adopt in order to mitigate this issue. And then if they fail to do so, we are going to hold them to account because we need to hold the bull by the horn. It is high time for Gambian people to speak out about the insecurity in the country. We don't want to reach at a stage where, you know, there will be a state of lawlessness. When that happens, you know, Gambian will be come because this is not going to help the government. This is going to be an advice to the government, especially President Barrow. People of this country love him. That's why they have given him their vote, almost 400,000. Barrow's government is not going into the right trajectory. Not him personally. His ministers are punching below. The directors are punching below. You understand? And other people, they surround President Barrow. Things that are politically motivated, Barrow shouldn't allow it. This insecurity, traffic regulations, you understand? You talk about rape and bribery. Now take it a Masakunda, they have to burn down to the government.
Yeah.
So let him take note of everything and anything, and he work towards it. If not, come 2026 election, they're going to beat him. President Barrow about election or lose life. Because, I mean, if people are not living in a very conducive life, people in security, we want what we call, you know, we want to go to bed with food. We are not kajafin Masakunda, or we are not criticizing the government. We are saying what we are all seeing. Ite number kirim magoga. Omar number kirim. Even President Barrow number kirim magoga. So Bangoni Mantataka in a right trajectory. Not only him, but he have technocrats. Me appoint. If they are not doing that delivery, people are going to question that, and when election comes, that's how they kick the government out. Because wow, security monster, traffic over congestion, Loptano taxi development caring Siro the mama developer. Siro is the last thing.
Absolutely. I think my last interview with Omar was like, you told me, I mean, infrastructure is the simplest, I mean, form of, I mean, development that a country can embark on.
Obviously.
We need, I mean, health, I mean, centers. We need, I mean, food, I mean, to be sufficient in this country. And so that you can be able to use those roads as you wish. So Omar, I mean, absolutely, we are almost at the tail end of the program. But now, Omar, let's put this into consideration. The spokesperson, I will quote from him. He said, he said that, I mean, Dr. Banya was, I mean, was pardoned because like he's not that more okay, and then, I mean, doctor's advice, and of course, he was the amount that he was fined. I mean, he paid that, and in fact, wishes to double up.
You know, it's not about
just one of the reasons that I mean,
it's not about paying money. It's about setting the precedents. You know, corruption is one of the first government officials they have found one thing for corruption. We need to allow law to actually take its score. You fair lawyer fair you understand about the issue of the health condition. But God haven't given him the verdict and then he can have access to the doctor anytime he wish. You understand? And it's also anytime okay. But Sankara law is not enough. Sankara should stop going to media. Sankara not embarrassing always. Okay, embarrassing.
Interesting. So Omar, now moving on. Let's see what would this cost for this country? Like having rape cases rampant, murder cases rampant, theft, armed robbery. What are the negative effects of such crimes in a particular country? Is this signifying something greater for the future?
Yeah, something great indeed, and a very bad thing for that matter. Yeah. Kula miyalong ko fay kachasay moli along muna wakeri nyimbanko kang mo fasiata mol be mol lano ya kam force ka ngama sakunda long miyalong ko walle be mol bula kam miyalong ko walle wala ke comme alu ya fa nyame rek hanake da luwa ko anyanda ka million tanne jo anyanda ka sanjilul la kaso to for instance now million tango jo ala sanyi lula nyanda ka la kaso to le bari ay kula ke mi yalon ko anim banko la loi man ta yalon loi mo kula de mi yalon ko Ibrahima nim fe ata la rek e ka fe ay fangol yalon hadama dingo fangol la hadama di ya kono fenne bi je mi yalon ko hadama dingol fango tema tani tek dem ma tema ngal waso do je min alu tema loi bi je le mebi malla fi yatam min dinkira la fa pour yedan min dulal wo mon ton fango o hadama di yal on ton mo fulol tema wala ton mo sabo tema be je soko banko tema banko mol be tema nyim banko mo be jaga tambe mo million fulala 2.5 wala ka fonong last statistics but nina raji be saying is very close to 3 million o naman tambe bo fama so wo mol min bo banko kan yaro ne ko luwale bo banko molu sambala fu luwale tara banko kam yaro ko wala bo mol mutale la banko kan ye kontan yaro mo be ba fala development coming alu ya fa nyami silol belola kol bakela wasilol fongo betalo la nyaadi le mo be tamano lo silol ka nyaadi le ni mantara security ni mol mantara ifong bulu nda findira no ka moje ka sila nyimbango ngafo nda talano nyi waro bari banko mantara tenkunding man sakuna amene kama alu yamin fa rek sangare nyanda ka da bundi ka diam mon la banko la ko ananta resign la with immediate effect kabiri nga yo force bulon nake anda resign yalo ngana kuwol fon nyinyane mo kana fa janga kumo fon manda nyinyara atinyara sangare nanda bolaje la nanda bolaje because tonya mutonyaldi sangare mire ka wuliya fa nyim banko moliya amere ka kumo fon banko mole mi yalo ko banko mol manta tala ede lo no jana bi ya fa jana ding sama ya fa jana banko mol sorta mol mi yalo ko abe fintila nga afoy ko nyile ba keri na man takunda ando wala ba keri bari man sakunda be nyin silefa nyalle ka kan ka de ko ngo ko nyim bay bari nsasara mo jelle be sasara wo prisino ko mo jelle fata je
kulo melo go for like I was like truly the government is aware of how mile 2 how bad
mile 2 is
so like and then there is no remedy to make sure that place is changed to standard. I was worried that the government is really aware of the bad condition
of mile 2. Of a strong signal lesson more like ho. Man sakunda halon nem alla mol ba mabarin dame. Kaso nyun kono. Wala na man ngol kay kaso. Ya kasileke. Ye sambaje. Ni man kasige didaje. So mari ni ye kaso o mol mi yalan ko baro ye bula ye kaso leke. Wala ne sambo kaso do. Wala ne sambaje ye mabaje. Ye mabaje dalile kam me mabaje puri tara je wadama ye mabaje le puri ni molye fama nyola isaje ni mol mata blackling e kana wo kusi falke dol bije yo mabaje le ko foy e sio dol bije wo sasara je le foy fata je dol bije wol tuta je le dol bije yo bulale bari mila tamsol bandal bari mo bula mi an kala tamam bang yo dol fo mo daje ko wol nan daraje foy kaso yo wol bul sa mo mi fara je fo le fi dara walde mo ni sasara je fo wala la julba ko warta wala kaso warta ni moloti ba pero baranal ko waddo bije ni la julba ko warta ye ni min fango bula dan mol la mi yalan ko bije so ko mi nga fo nyame rek ni na ba ko nyin jibe baranal ko probably it is politically motivated ito wulla no bi ya fa ngata nga mol pare nakata baro la fa khayta ni mol la lek banko mol la ko ha atlem banko la mansale mol yalon mansala mi yanka mantra katani silola andung nim manca mantra katani silola wato rek e kat kule fene la banko kan kum yanka be la banko mun la ko man always wala bani banko batandi kan wala nim banko batandi nim banko kabri nga ya fango soto wato men kabri nim banko ya fango soto wato men fo bi e bar nan ko foundation correct ngo malla nim banko kam mi nim banko sambal kana nyone ne wala
but someone tell you Jawara did well
Samuel Taylor Jawara did not.
So what?
We belong to the school of thought that believe that Jawara should have done enough. For 30 good years, you cannot be in power and then among family consider no more. Me had in Rwanda, Tanzania, Nimbangudol developed that. They invest heavily on the education. No for security for an avenue Nimbango kind of. Nimbango more karanta ya lonko nyem bulubari nyem maradi. Nanda kanyineke manyana kanyinke. Ebaronal ko banko 97% of the population of Tanzania is educated.
Critics say that in our anti-crime unit we have people who are just from grade 9 and the only thing that they understand is how to do
it.
So meaning these are all
corruption of mimi banko kang. hana kita second no ibo moja second no grade 9 from officer second no grade 6 drop out taraje just do proper scrutiny iwa taraje mulli fenanje mol mi yalon ko wallam plastic wol banko o dulat so wol yamirel ko ninta be nyim place oto na modu na family modu wala kafu nyolom nyanda ko wala na fe nyin dulato prietare yalom banko la security is very important for that banko la security is very important. Maybe in the military you can say yes, every citizen should be there because women need maybe a very big technocrats like Adeko. All what they should do is to be at the borders to make sure that the borderline is protected. We have a very porous border. Na border jawiyata le fata mera jawiya. Ofo da mamanke banko tango. Bari molmi yalko wolinga naka banko kono kwel tanka. The security of the internal states of this country. The interior banko kono mi yalko wala banko kono. Wanya ndaka mole mi yalko e fahamro ke ba. E fahamro ke mine nyanda ka ke anmena manya. Wala na liparo sia. Nim police ko pirim rek ko wala ni la bati non e banko mol lipa. Police brutality. From security sector. It will come in for coming security sector reform. Security sector reform. They are not reforming the security, they are reforming their pockets. All those security sector reforms, there are funds that are given to them for that particular purpose. But fabricate can never. 100 length, maybe 2% na market. So 98% on the mundo, la post all. Civil service return, reform. Fabricate can never. 100% 2% na market. Tony dara mundo, la post all. So corruption on mukuri dunia ka banyi banko mol fakan. Abang fakan andu nimmang hakilo corruption betale al fae kudina wala na kabaring ba mediamo ko corruption o ketan na balunya sanyi banko agar na traditional. Saya momin corruption dol ka wala celebrate. Pero ba fala nyadi we celebrate we celebrate thieves and vilify the goods. Mo kendo dol ka wala mira wala mo furi wan. Sanja ni tata je. For instance, being the minister. Ngamoro kilim soto. Ngabung kilim soto. Na mo mantara je bakal Omar mo furi wan. Bari ndara je sain. Ngabun jangol lo. Ngamoro Jamal Chang. Ngana badim tudungol ta nge sama na ministry. Mo kendol. So man fega understand. Wo fuma damma man tike siket. Ika banko nyi weaken internally. Because ite bo dulal do miya ko adula nyi ko ni aje ma sekunda o dulal nyi lo. Dula ko mala. Narra man sekunda nyi parto sobia. Afa man sekunda furo men bu ko dolde. Man sekunda min parto sobia ni aje any ministry. Ka jelo ko man sekunda ka ministry ko tolle lo. Every. Kamol dundije. Ministry be bul miya ko won man tra function ka.
But they will tell you, I mean, they establish, I mean, those ministries to ensure that there is efficiency within the government. So that is why they, I mean, establish certain ministry just to help them able to meet, I mean, their target.
Yala ning konko be ela banko ka. Konko. Mo kana nyoni na ko konko man dañu banko ka. Ministry of Agriculture kamene ka banjo. Ning konko man dañu banko ka. Ministry of Agriculture akamene ka banko ka. Akamene ka banjul. Ya kunko le je banjul. Ya kunko je je. Yala ni ko agriculture. Agriculture ka kunko le to. So livestock agriculture wol be ka ko dulale solo mu yalan ko wol be ka wolto. Wol be ka ko kunko le to ba dalla. But yala mi nyim banko fu batan. You know, last time I failed. We have self-reliant and self-sufficient. Nyim banko dolma be so we do not want to rely on ourselves. We are not self-sufficient. Maybe niko self-reliant yafo noko mbelalam fangol lante sonna modo ina na banko kampra yamma ko. Men do ko kelam fangele. Nam fang soto ngabalu. Self-sufficient ha mbe fangol soto no la bari mbelala na modol fanan kan pour ye dama nin kenya de saja ngabalu. Bari nyim banko e bukalon febe self-reliant ne ba febe self-sufficient. Do man tar fenke kan. So wala dinna security sector nanda ka dulal de mialon ko kumaya bata. Nim banko la tanko banko la nyato ta be security la bu nim banko man tanka si lol man sakunda ka minu lo mol man ta tamale kan karamongole be minu lo kan mol man ta la karamon nade ko there is a time that foni e karamongol soron da in foni ay ndol foni diol foni dingola ni ngamme dingola ay neeku ya inyade dingol jel mi yan ko nyana kata karamongol ba sirin so kon imonyol min yan ko wolbe di other parts of the world wolbi takan nga wolbe tamiketo nya fati lako womun ni ku ya baladi kule ma sabu na man ke banko la tambo.
Thank you, Omar. We are out of time, and of course, but like I told you earlier on, we have two intellectuals here, and the moment they start talking, it's difficult to break them, let them stop. But I believe, the discussion is a very insightful one, and of course, not only telling you, problems, but they're giving you remedies, and of course, not to us, but let me say to the government, that they should put in certain things to ensure that, this country is safe. So, Honorable, now to the final question, Honorable, we are currently witnessing armed robbery, theft. These are just normal. If you go to the Brikama Gari, Serikunda, Coastal Road, they will steal a property while you are seeing them. So this, will tell you that there is no proper, security. But on your own perspective, how do you see these things like theft and robbery? In daytime they would, rob you. In daytime they would, steal a property, but you can do nothing out of it. And we say that we have the police officers that are, in this country, and they are everywhere. So for you, what is your take on that?
All right, thank you so much, Mbai. Like I said, I will speak in Mandinka because so obviously, yes. So it is something that is true. Niada jibe nyimbango kanjang funding kelmo. Yalam Umar, we have to actually, say the things like the way they fall. Funding ke jumalo banko ke mampare dogo. Funding kel mampare so dia. Lamin kon kana fa ko youth activist. Akamu youth activist. Akamu social activist let. So imagine it is high time. Nim problem among the government damad.
Absolutely.
Problem nyinka start solo. Poor parental care, poor parental guide. Working in my balsam. Not only lack of job. Mo jamal bijani me anoko edo ko sotole. You understand? Mo jamal bijani me anoko edo ko soto. Iba ibida kan school bari ba nyinkul kene nyene fo nyinen kala. Ikamen foko daylight robbery. Ndafa witness le. Birkama garage in Serakunda. Ikata garage soto. Ifon nyaka nyinge umarikano ko nyim suwonam. Plain ifon kana ko nyim suwoldi amandra fena ja amandra moto nyinga jang amandra fena jande fe mandra to adara daga pour sunyaro pour que mul kasar ka mul ko moni ka musul ko moni ke afno table karatare ala lodo sunyaro ko kodla.
Absolutely.
You understand? So those are breeding places for the thieves. And then the government should ensure that they try to mount those areas. Nitara teba garas. Teba garas. Oh, nyata teba garas mora moto yero jini. E binu wajida mola moto mola malo chokada bujade. Abe borkan abitaka. Mo saate be yabala. Mo mabulano ko odla. And all the police station bala. One of I objected Omar earlier, but even though police officers also, they are pointing below their weight. You have police station at the junction there.
Absolutely.
Police will mean be sitting odula. Be sitting garas over there. If one loco, the breeding places for the thieves and armed robbers, criminals is just behind them. Just behind,
of course.
You understand? But one of the best, and yes, still, police they are not doing enough. Code learning dismantle. You have to destroy the breeding places. Never ka susulal bayang. Ni susulal breeding place mo janal. Ika jelda beti nya. And either they know. Ngo funding kel katratiba garage jele ka musala frango choka di block. Ye bori ilo bungo jan. And the police they are aware. They are fully aware about that. So how comes we are paying those police officers to execute their responsibility? We are paying them from our money. Na mero minka kuchal samu jatul marsire ka tender sol min tebul. Ika wolta ka security jo. You understand? So nyata jibe banko kanjang security mfemiana ka kumada bake. And therefore we will continue advocating for security. We will continue advocating for peace in this country. This is the country we have. You understand? Let government not see that we are trying to criticize them. You need to use this criticism as a weapon in order to mitigate things. Very simple. Because and the police they are aware. Criminal breeding place. Police station of Modoringe, police station numero and yes, still crime
and some like eyewitness in Serakunda you have a PI officer standing where the thieves are, where people are boarding vehicle and the thieves are there. So like madam you see them, they're just keeping themselves like that and then seeing certain activities going on. So now Mr. Mr. Jobe, now like we also witnessed not long ago, the killing or like of these bank cases, understand? These are Western Union videos. Let me say the videos that the cashiers, one of the cashiers was, killed at this at Westfield. Now, what's your message to those, the owners of those videos to ensure that the lives of our Gambian youth are safe in sort of things?
Alright, so yeah, the new program on ajana tamila in time because nera jibe nyimbango kan all the sectors ko mari afnya from agriculture and economy you come to all the sectors they actually they are singing. You understand? Suddenly but tunen kan as we are speaking. Fine. You know, niata ojibe ko la miana ka balfa water. We will send our condolences to the family members. You know, sister miana ko na sister miana ka abandon, you know, they kill her cold-bloodedly. This is so sad. It's unbearable. Ko mari mi faja ni umar bari muso yola walkeda ye wala rape nu ye culprit nu mbla walk am freely on the street. I would want to block on because you traumatize the lady one, yala future destroyed two, and then you know atone batara sade ko nyama batara nyade. So government need to put all these things together. To come to your question, system yana ko ya forward la cold-bloodedly yana ko abal forward, you know, so sad, so emotional. Minya na kila wala mko your security first before dogo. Ni la faka purka moita dogo la nyimba ko kan fo wala ko ko problem si abare mbango kan mul kata dogo le mbango ke jo wuli sabada malaja in ka sale mbango kan ka sale minje jim fengo ka sha kilindi mi ala ko seri tamira 6000 nyana ko you work say 6 days in a week from somanda 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock ibay siri nyin ka jan ibay siri nje ni Europe la sending either every month you'll be earning almost $300,000 nya fadi mi gamen dalaso it'll be ke yo fena fo fona menke you know 6000. This is and then you know Labour Act Parliament here passed them not far too long. Understand? To protect the workers. We have Gambia Workers Union. But Nimman Sakundai, they are punching below. They are not creating environment for people to be gainful employed. They are not actually inviting investors to establish companies here. The little we have
You take.
You go. Nitara minima keroto jamba kita alzihaji ka molta lori ka bisim ka biso mana fusudo. It's your deal from ko ni ke basale bo se sale. They exploit these people. Government, we have a consumer protection alliance. They need to ensure that they work. They are also punching below their weight. You look at the government, they are punching below their weight. You look at, you know, Gambia Workers Union, they are punching below their weight. Komari afanya mimur katrani office kono AC kono. Karo imandra dokula. Ika moja office concealer ha. Until we are advocating for consumers in this country, we are Gambia Consumer Protection Alliance. IBF mo sin office kono bukatara fenda word la fani karo fara kila serali so. At the end of the day, expire production mi anoko aba farin tep. So sad. You know, medical control agency, Innovares Global Miano ko sorong. Iko ilaje, expired drugs or taraje. Ni yo taraje. Muna mi understand. Amanke yo understand. O mari ning ala samba, alia fa ko. We support Ismail. Ismail is our motto. He inspires us a lot. But ni Ismail luatinya, luanya na busada. Luanya na tamal kakaya na tamal. Ni Ismail boro la baf mial noko. Boro ba mial ka expired. Ala samba le kiti obi mial ka lara ko na fence or budget. So, niba do kota I try to secure. I try Alieu security sir. All the bureaus here, Central Bank of the Gambia, they increase the monetary fund for the foreign bureaus, but they forget about the security. In Masakunda na katli, avoko momo yano kela vaka bureaus rema koka. I mean the profit demand. Standard security. You need to have you need to appoint a security person. It's like when I was employment, Omar or Siva so doko so no Siva. So imagine ko nyo Siva ke. At the end of the day, people will be situated there also. But it will be gaining millions of dollars. So it are assistant account that they have suffocate. You understand? You know, at the end of the day, these are things me and government need to pay attention to it. Absolutely. And then the bureaus for more for a million of dogo can be in security first. Is very easy so and then at the end of the day, but absolutely. Government need to do much more than this.
We are out of time, and of course now we move to. Hence this program is a current affairs program. I would not just want to shift from the board. I want to put this across. Now, Omar and Alieu, or should I this question, Omar? Omar, now, we realized yesterday that Senegal and Macky Sall have intention of, to postpone the election to some time. So just one or two words on that issue. Hence, our program is on current affairs. So just one or two words.
Thank you very much. That would not be one or two words. I beg your pardon. But it's sad, very, very sad that the regional bloc will be seeing constitutional coup d'etats constantly happening in our continent and they will not condemn it. I read their report yesterday. I was shocked. That is this truly the ECOWAS that we joined? Macky Sall wants to betray the constitution of Senegal. You know, every president has a term. If it is 5 years exactly, 3 months before your term ends, there should be elections. Macky Sall is now postponing election date. Macky Sall wants, even one day, if it is added to your tenure while you are in office, is corruption. It's unconstitutional. And it should not be encouraged. So the people of Senegal, we know it is been a trying times for them, most especially if you are a supporter of PASTEF, a political party that I admired so much. It reminds me of Doi. I admire that political party so much. If you are a supporter and a sympathizer of that particular political party, it has been a trying times for them. But one thing is very clear. The continent, if Senegal is facing a problem, we face a problem. We are joined. We were together. Their problem is our problem. If you said Senegal's problem is not your problem, you are just fooling yourself. In Senegal, but I can sign you. Face it. Kandaro la banko baka fen choto no. Ala baka fen dano. Okay, na banko baka fen dano. I'm talking to individuals who are saying that Senegal la baka mangela barat. Ila banko baka fen dano. Ndol baka fen dano. Ndol man fen choto no. Ndol all what we can do is katakan dialect. If you hold in Adam. I will take this from Usman, where he says that it's very easier for governments to mismanage funds that are given to them by loans or grants than funds that are mobilized. You know, if you all put in something into our government's coffers, we will all want to know what could you have done. But don't lie in banco. Banco le miyango ning Senegal joint tabake. So Macky Sall doing the constitutional coup d'etat in Senegal, it's going to affect us. Bitterly going to affect us because violent rules of Senegal. Macky nene commando that I do not like during the demonstration. The people that are demonstrating, most of them cannot even speak Wolof. It's a tribal. It's a pure tribal statement. It's not telling you that everybody in Senegal can speak Wolof. Some people around the Casamance region can speak Jola or Mandinka. So they have the right in the affairs of Senegal. So Macky doing the constitutional coup and the regional bloc not talking shit about it is something that should not be accepted. And Macky should, I think he's punching below his weight. So he should bring down himself to the level of the people.
Interesting. And of course, just to remind you of your current affairs. So almost until on the program. Honorable, one word for the viewers before we take leave of the studio.
Alright, baraka bake, mbay, ya invite jam akere nyo konan kubadi kananang ka nimbong kudingole kacha. Kwaya vonya minsay, na face mama bake nimbong kwaka. Obvious, we are always at the helm of the affairs. We discuss about contemporary issues in the country, and we ensure that we digest the things that are going around the country. So it's a national duty pour ko kanan danko jang nim banko di wala kacha kula mi ana ka de ni la banko la peace wala security peace and security memo kairo nim tanko mobile after lam banko ka nin kairo nim tanko manda kirin daltina jang. Gambia is doing much when it comes to maintaining peace and security, but still now they need to double up the American government demand, the government, civil service, civil society organization, more especially political parties. Political parties manta fenge kanjam fana menke jinne bal jongodi kada rally la kada ko kada celebration, victory celebration. Political parties should go beyond that. And I think we're gonna have a discussion over that. Political parties are not doing anything in this country. Civil society organization are project oriented. You look at civil society like Minanoko, they are fighting for how to call it, comprehensive health education. Alright, so near the political party jibe, they should be advocating for peace. They should be educating masses. Inyana katalabake banku dinga karani muna mira right the responsibility. And then fanang yataraja pulka anytime government is punching below their weight, they should ensure that they come out and tell the government, look, the party na condemn the A, B, and Z, but not always to be criticizing the government. political parties were established because of that. You wanted to, take over the government, or you wanted to be next government with your people. Before you get there, people need to see seriousness in you. Amenkitisa talalati, jinibal jonko, pati bambalo, political party tamidol, political party, they should make sure that they have an agenda, they have an aim and objective. They change the dynamic of the people. Don't book a political party support because of my family supporting it. They will support the political parties based on manifesto, based on ideas, based on things me and the they put for the people. So the code is short. Peace is priceless. Nyanna katala nyasio be nyama na mbulo dunyo kono pour kaja banko la karu ni tenko mo be yo ta no ken na kondo dunodi ni election na tanana election ta na duwa kono karu kono na finda kono karu kono Senegal sa ndending je mana tenko ne nyaja mage sala ko election move because of banko sa de ni tenko I could because dal gamen dal duwa bakel pour que refugee mo ta ke host na country kon dal banko dal bakam fom balu no soko ni Senegal of 600,000 people on Senegal is almost 17 million. Senegal ta kuna jang. Ni Senegal taran ba ko ndol bas tele je. So min biye ntala ko ita muru ari so system muru ka Senegal refugee hoja. So min biye min kumar fa kumar na kadar ni sabri jono ni karun te ngo ka fene mi an ko mobe tarawo fakang mobe tarawo advocate kan because tara fene mi ala ka sa banko samono. Masakunda ila do ko lon pour ka je ko karun te ngo sabare banko ka. Ni man dara ke kan ma finla na fa masakunda ko karun te ngo man dara banko kan anyana kata nyasio benya jana bakira what we call deeply rooted conflict malafa ka fudo so jani wodum arabar ka baake allo may kuji manyi na kadanya kon nan ko bari pour ka an nyambi kaka cha kula mi ano ka den ni banko la kero ni tenkol jibera ba dawada na tenu na jeyi atal mun mi ano ko na tanan alban jibe ga wala 1 hour akadanya kon nan ko bari kana jang jani wodum assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Omar, your final word to the viewers.
Okay, ngam nanda kay Alieu for mimbe nanda ka fo. But maringol minalon ko iba jiberon. Mbambani konton na fonyunkol. It has been tough. It has been very tough. Akole abarantol kanne, most especially the people of Fon. Alongo the government is not doing what they should do. Ndamalon for Jambela grief nyana be kon hani sign, and they still want to neglect us from what we deserve. But Mbafala government we are part and parcel of the country. You cannot take Fonyi out of this country, and you cannot take the country out of Fonyi. Where I have seen one of the most patriotic citizens in Fonyi. They are very patriotic when it comes to national development. Yes, in as much as I do not agree with Bakari in some instance, but he's one of the greatest, National Assembly member that we are having right now. But the government should really think. Ayanda ke mira baga ko Fonyi ko bo batarin ne. Ando na batanying te dan na no ning government mabulo binje kam makoy wala atina Fonyi ko ka katre fayle fe ka katre faye fe baga faye ento fala no bari ka katre fayle and wo katre faye nyin kay randile le ko ifana dabe nyim banko la kono ko kono so man sakunda faye makoy an na banko de da ngaje ko fana ngatanka nyim mol la minyan ko ka dunna na banko ko kana mol fa di parto kan ni na mol dol kata dol bije wol fa da fe mam fa wol be ma bare wulol kono ila dimbayal me long ni mala ni be mum kusi fal kana bal fa wat yefindi rek la so kono ko ngara wulol kono ngata lo ni etuje dol me ja ko tek ni musol be buli la musol bet la wal nyama ning dingol be buli bet la wala nyama so Cairo nen tenkonga mbe nyanda ko duwana bankoka bari fitino baka fitino bayno Cairo da mala so keno so ngala ne ko man sakunda ba fitino la sama kantol kan Fonyi kol bari ndol defitino samara no man sakunda kan bari man sakunda la bulo wartan dol bari mum fele wala ngak diamu ye kaje ko ka foy ko nintol kom fanam be fitino la kala kaje ko na mol soto ko ya ko warla anu afitino ba garal so fitino ba fitino bay Cairo da mal sa fitino bayno so tol ba Cairo nyor la man sakunda kan kay tan dira ko alim ma ko Gambia nolu saje Gambia no se tarano Cairo kono e tarano tanko kono e tarano daha kono bari man sakunda lafta banko la nyato talla banko la nyato ta buka keno Cairo fo e taraje dim banko la fa nyato talla so banko la nyato ta tol be bole noma man sakunda ma fale ko me danila wala mante danila ba fale ko alla nyanto mo minti walenka Cairo min tenko ngo sabatindi banko ka wayatin na karre fayta Alieu nalte banko Cairo sabatindi lano alta tenko ngo sabatindi la banko kan almanta sirango bula mole min yalon ko wolle sa banko sabatindi no man dal dani kande ba fa Alieu nal nyinat adam baro ning sankare na la mol mbe nyina mbal hakelo blane kanena nyina ko tundu follow me atina ko yakate fayale wala bankola tanko ning ala tenko nim banko kabere mbalo na maybe jawara sirje mbal ko the country was very peaceful enough but it was not doing good in development and all that but nina ta tanko la karola badala ko atele bening man kunda flol be nyaat bari mba fale man kunda ko alal hakilo tu banko molula kanto kairo man tara nyum banko kan andu ngato le nyanda ko kairo sabade alaba.
Thank you very much. Allah barka bake Omar Sanyang and then Alieu Jobe. I mean, it was all pleasure hosting you here on Fine TV Camp and of course on our current affairs program that comes your way every Sunday from the hour of 11 to 12. But maybe almost exceeding almost to 1 p.m. because we have young intellectuals who are always passionate to delve into national issues and of course not only tell you the problems but to give you remedies to those problems. So Alieu and Omar, thank you very much for honoring our invitation. We are grateful and of course we look forward to having you here on our subsequent programs. Until then, bye-bye.